What's going on, everybody?
Oh, man. Here we are.
How you doing?
We're back.
We're back. What's up, everybody? I am Drew.
And I'm Kat.
And this is Let's Party, Prayer, and Punk Rock.
Yeah, it is.
It's been a little while.
Sure has.
Man, it's been quite a little while. We apologize for that. Not that anyone's been waiting on pins and needles necessarily, but we are back. That was the Bouncing Souls.
Yep, their new one, right?
On. Yep, that's a new song, a new single they just came out with called United.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. It's pretty good.
Makes me want to jump around.
Yeah, and they're on tour again, of course, this year, and they're a great band from Jersey.
And we've seen them together.
Yeah.
We've had a show about them.
Yep.
In the last past 3 years.
Playing, we had a little intimate acoustic session.
Yeah, that was really super cool. Yeah.
It was like maybe 25, 30,
we got there
40
like
people.
super early, which I love being early.
And they're asking people what they should play, and I almost got my song in, but
yeah,
he was like, "Oh man, I like that one, but we'll do Pizza Guy or Pizza Man, whatever."
Yeah, because that was more of the.
It was easy, yeah.
Yeah, and everybody knows it.
Yeah, it was a lot more mainstream for people that. Yeah.
It was. This rabbit hole just quickly, but it was so intimate that it was uncomfortably close. I was like I felt weird for them that we were so close to them.
Yeah, it was kind of. It's like you could sneeze and be like, sorry.
Yeah, right.
You know.
Yeah. So, but that was
cool.
I do like that new song. I'd like to see them again after I'm done having this baby.
Yep. We got a baby coming.
Oh yeah.
You mentioned it in the last podcast, like 4 months ago.
Yeah, now I got a belly for sure. We're 8 months in.
Ate a baby. You literally ate a baby. And now it's going to come out.
I ate watermelon seeds. Look what happened.
Yeah, I know. You have a baby watermelon.
So Scarlet Rose will be here end of July.
Early August. I guess it's all a matter of Scarlet.
Yeah, of course. So
there might be a show she wants to finish up in there, watching her own Netflix.
We're going to go to a show here, close to my end here.
Yeah, we're kind of questioning that. Maybe we should get response from people that might be listening.
I did ask on my social media, because we have not been in our podcast, but we have been sharing stuff that's been going on our social media, just Instagram and Facebook. That's what we're on. So,
we're old.
I know. Well, I mean, Instagram is like not old.
No, that's not old.
I lost my train of thought.
Apparently, Facebook is now MySpace.
Oh no.
No,
MySpace isn't
it doesn't
anymore,
even
is it?
Anymore,
okay.
No.
Do our kids even know what that is?
I think it's mentioned.
Probably not.
Yeah, not really. No.
I brain farted. I completely lost my train of thought. I rabbit holed out of it.
Oh, jeez.
But I'm pregnant, here it is. Full on, all the pregnancy brain and everything.
And watermelon.
Yeah.
And you ate one.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. And it's hot.
We have
and it's summer.
Well, no, you were talking about how we had our own, Instagram and Facebooks and our own personal things been going on. We haven't shared anything on the podcast.
Yes. So, and a lot has happened to us. I think you're supposed to say for you, but I don't know about that.
Yeah.
In the last few months.
Yeah.
In the last
We've had quite a bit happen here, and pretty much.
Pretty much in the last 3 months, we've had 3 people very close to us go to heaven.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, cooking a baby. So it's been a lot. It's been a lot.
Yeah, it's been, and that's what we thought we'd talk about today, is just about grief and loss a little bit, and that's kind of some of the reason, obviously, why we haven't been doing this podcast. And
just took a break.
Yeah, I just kind of needed a minute here. We all kind of needed a minute, and the kids lost. My children lost their mother to cancer.
Yes.
And that was March 9th.
Yep.
It was
Jennifer.
essentially breast cancer that ended up becoming brain cancer, and
at the end,
that's how she passed away. And then your grandmother passed away.
Yeah.
Just recently, about a month ago, right?
Yeah.
And then my father just passed away 2 weeks ago.
On my grandmother's funeral.
Yeah.
During my on that day.
And you're pregnant.
Yeah. Did we mention we're pregnant?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's been it has been up and down.
It's been a hard fought hallelujah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good song. If you haven't heard it, look it up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Brandon Lake, right?
Yeah, Brandon Lake.
That's right.
Oh, I know what it was.
What?
Ooh, we're going to see Slightly Stupid.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it was. We're going to the show. Yay. High five, Jesus. Whoosh. Thank you for giving me that download. Slightly Stupid. Yes. I am very excited, but we are having the baby close to like 2 weeks away from that show.
Yeah.
So
the baby's like 2-3 weeks away from the date of the show. So I mean, essentially, it should be okay.
37 weeks, 36 weeks.
But we will be It's Slightly Stupid at the pavilion.
So we're outside.
It's outside the lawn.
Hot.
You know what I mean?
I know.
Hopefully we have shade. If not, we're buying 8 umbrellas.
And just buckets of ice.
Yeah, but, so I mean, yeah, I just,
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. I really don't think that it would, I mean, I just don't know if, like, the heat and everything might trigger
Maybe it'll
something.
rain or sprinkle on make it fun, and a rainbow will be there, and it'll be awesome.
It'll be muddy, and then we'll just, it'll be like Woodstock or something.
Cool.
People just sledding and sliding
I just
everywhere.
don't want to fall. That would be horrible.
No, you don't want to do that.
Well, okay, so she loves music. Scarlett loves music, and she dances in my bloom, I swear, and loves karate. They always play like heavy metal. She's always like punching and dancing. Like, she loves music. First time I felt her was at church worshiping. So, and I get Braxton Hicks. It's like practice contractions. It's not like real contractions. It's just like practice. But when she dances like that, then my body starts like contracting. So when we get close to the end, I'm like, okay, we need to bring the hospital bag. We need to have parking up front. Yeah. Because Slightly Stupid may want to arrive and come to the show.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think we should get parking up front. I'll pay $100 for it. I don't care.
Luckily, we have 2 of my best friends, here in Texas are going to be with us too.
Yeah,
so
we're going with some other people. So
we're driving separately. But if you're going to that show, holler. We will be in the lawn, right?
Yeah. We'll be on the lawn somewhere. I don't know where.
Somewhere.
I'm not sure.
Come say hi to us.
Hopefully under a tree.
Yeah. Yes, and an umbrella.
Yeah, exactly.
There is a Brandon Lake concert on July 26th.
Yeah,
which is definitely the week that they're kind of thinking about inducing.
Right.
So we're definitely not going to make it to that one, but I highly recommend for everyone who's not about to go have a baby to go see that.
If you're not having a baby, you should go to the show.
You should go. And tell me how it was and send me pictures.
Right.
Oh man. So yeah, we've been kind of trying to stay close to Jesus in these months and stay close to prayer and each other and, close friends and family and really pour into our children. Just trying to be real.
Yeah, I mean, school's out now, so it's a little bit easier. You know? I mean, it's kind of eased a little bit of the burden, but I mean, it is hard. Just, I mean, for me, this is that, my dad dying and my kid's mom. I mean, I knew her for 30 years.
She was one of your good friends.
Yeah, I mean, I've known her a long time. Yeah. That was a big loss, and then my dad's a big loss, and these are the first big losses for me. So there's a lot of feelings and emotions there, and you don't know what's going on, and you're like, man, you're just really concerned for the kids and just making sure that they're not, going down some avenue that they shouldn't be going down, and I'm just like praying that they'll communicate with me and that God will give me the strength and courage and wisdom and knowledge to know what to say, when to say it, why to say it, how to say it.
Yes,
and it's like, I mean, and we figured out, like, for Mother's Day, we decided, got a helium tank and then blow up some balloons, write a note to your mom or to dad or to grandma, whatever, and send it up to heaven. Yeah. Essentially. You know what I mean? Like, kind of like a little therapy for them, and for us.
Yeah. That was a great idea.
And I mean, and I mean, we all need this, and it's just, it is a difficult thing to go through loss, and people don't like to talk about it. I mean, I really don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I know. I mean? It's hard.
But it is. I mean, like we said, and like, their mom passing, and then my dad passing. I mean, God, it makes me think of my mom, and I mean, my mom's got dementia. I mean, she's got some issues going on. My sister's already had to tell her multiple times that dad's passed, and things like that. And
she forgets, right? She doesn't remember.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just, and then that's like you're
reliving it every day.
Yeah, and I mean, and I was always closest to my mom, so like, now the kids have lost theirs, and that really makes you think about certain things. Like I'd mentioned to you before, like it crushes me to think that, like, because I had mentioned to you something about, man, I need to call my mom,
Yeah.
and it's like, they can never say that again. You know what I mean?
can
I think
never
that's
say
when
that.
it
Yeah.
really just was that. To me, that was the first like crushing thing about all of it. It's like, dude, there's like these little things you don't even think about that they can never even do again. But then the way they're handling it, we're still trying to figure out if everything's okay, and it's kind of like going through the motions. It's like, is it going to hit them on their birthdays? Is it going to hit them at graduation? Is it going to hit them, at some point?
When they have a baby.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Ooh, that's going to be, yeah.
But, I mean, they're 19, 14, and 11, going on 12 in a week. And, yeah, I mean.
Preteen is tough.
Yeah.
Teen is tough. Our 19-year-old shares his feelings.
Yeah, he's
and
more in touch with his
emotionally,
emotions and feelings. I mean, he's kind of an adult. He's got a job. He kind of takes care of himself and, all that. And he's a little bit, he's a little bit more grounded in that, where, I mean, they're still children. You know what I mean?
And Jack, honestly, didn't really cry about losing his father.
Kind of resurfaced with.
Until the Jennifer situation happened.
Sure.
And,
exactly.
And she passed away, around friends and not friends, her family, all of her siblings, all talking to her and loving her and being there with her. And it, was for the situation, the best way it could have happened,
Yeah.
And so it was, in God's timing, but it did take a couple months for her to pass. And just like with Rudy, it took him like 40 days in the hospital. It's just slow but you get to like, and with cancer, because it took both of them, Rudy and Jennifer, you do have the mourning that goes along while they're alive. Mm-hmm. The crying and the feeling and the emotion and the words of kindness and comfort from your people and all that stuff. It's really a long process. And, in lieu of somebody like an accident, not expecting it, like that's, so they had time. Something they had written letters about it. They had written, so there was kind of like a longer way of releasing,
Yeah.
I always want to keep that in my mind because, and that we also grieve so differently, every one of us. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not the same for anybody, and if you think about
some
like...
people don't grieve much at all. I mean, I was talking to a customer just on Friday, and when his mom died, he didn't cry. He didn't cry at all. Like even his wife said, like, man, there's like something there. And he's like, but I was telling him, sometimes it's not the one that hit you. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's like, yeah, to me, I think it's my dad. Like, because that was also his stepmom. But he was very close to his stepmom.
Sure.
But he was like, when my dad passes, I think that will be the one that does actually make me cry. I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, it's probably just, like when my real father died
is different.
Like my biological father died 2-3 years ago. I mean, I never cried. No. I never cried,
Yeah,
I didn't know
he
him
wasn't
that
really
well.
in your life, and he brought a lot of pain.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, you know what I mean.
Kind of like
it's gonna be a little bit different.
Yeah,
So but regardless of being your father, I mean, I wouldn't be here without him. But at the
true.
same time, it's like but yet I still just don't, I can't get sad enough for that.
Sure, because there wasn't really a relationship.
No, yeah, I mean, and everything was kind of already gone anyway. I mean, we never had a relationship. You know what I mean? I mean, the one, I hadn't talked to him since I was 12 years old, so I mean, it's like, what do you have? But
it's just the closure that's so official that makes you sad.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because there are things that I wish I could have said, but you know what?
But we believe in heaven, and we believe that we can, people can hear us, and God loves everybody.
And everything happens for a reason. It just wasn't meant to be said then.
Yeah, and you've had
because by the time you get to heaven, you're probably not even going to care anyway.
I'm going to share a little extra stuff. You've had a Reiki session with me where he showed up with Holden and Noah.
Yeah.
From heaven and came to you and like showed you that he was taking care of them.
Yeah.
So there's closure that God gave you by your gifts of the Holy Spirit because not everybody can get visions like that. And so that's a powerful conclusion or closure to those feels, you know.
Yeah.
But with your stepdad, there was tears. There was like, because he was in your life longer and took care of your mom and all the things.
And our relationship had gotten a little bit better. And I mean, and I had gone back there about 3 weeks before he actually passed, I guess it was, maybe or a month.
Yeah. Yep. To see how everything was going.
I came back the day before Easter and he died 2 weeks ago. So
yeah.
About a month.
Yeah.
But like it he woke up for a minute, and I was able to just say, like, hey, Paul stopped by to see you. Linda stopped by, Corone, and, da-da-da, and, his face lit up. He couldn't talk or anything, I mean, and I could just tell him that I loved him and stuff. But it would have been nice to be able to, like, have a little bit more of a, wish, like, just kind of maybe finally sew those little pieces up.
Yeah.
But
he's in heaven, you can tell him now.
Right, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, well, now it's easier for you to even express yourself. You know what I mean?
And to fully, completely understand with grace.
Yeah. Yeah, without the human element getting in. He's
there's
up
no
there
pride.
Like, bring it on, buddy. I'm talking to Moses right now, but I'll chill for a minute.
Yeah,
I mean,
right? Love it. Yeah.
But, I mean, it does make you, because like I said, I mean, those are the first kind of losses that I had where it really did touch home.
Yeah.
And so it's like...
And two in a row, like...
Yeah. And I mean, it really does make you, I mean, just as much as, that people die, it's like, I mean, you keep hearing it about other people, and then, the older you get, suddenly now all your friends...
Moms are passing or have dementia or...
Yeah, and then that's what makes me worry about my mother, because for me, we talked about this, like, she's like my moral compass. Yeah. She was the one that, even though, I could be in a drunken stupor calling her, man, Mom, no one understands anything, and she'd always be able to calm me down, and it was always that relevance. There was always that just, she could put me back on that level, balance out. That measuring stick.
Love you unconditionally and make you feel seen.
Yeah, and I mean, and now she's in a state where it's no longer there.
She can't.
So it's like, the kids' moms pass, my dad passes, my mom's kind of like almost, she's not there anymore, so it's like she, and it's just kind of like, man, it's like we talked about this. It's like your moral compass is off.
Yeah, like who do we go to?
And that platform that you used to like stand on and never like,
wavered.
Never wavered. It wasn't a crooked bridge, you know what I mean? It was solid, and now it's like
that firm foundation.
Yeah, just feels like that, the house isn't on, it doesn't feel like it's built on solid rock as much as it should be. It feels like it's sinking in the sand a little bit,
I feel that.
But it's about,
I feel that with my grandma. I feel that.
But it is about, like, you got to understand that these things happen for a reason. And, I mean, like, the kids went through something that no child should ever have to go through. But they went through it because there was a purpose for it. And I don't know what that reason is. It could be because, say, Jen's family needs to figure something out. Or our kids need to figure something out. Or maybe we're talking about it now. There's someone out there right now that's going to be like, you know what?
Right.
I get that. You know what I mean? But,
I needed to hear this.
Yeah, because, I mean, we all do go through this crap, and it sucks, dude, when, because it's hard. I mean, it's so weird how it's like you can go through days, and then all of a sudden you think, like, I didn't have to worry about that for 3 days, and all of a sudden that night you're like, back to the, like, crap, dude, is it just because I thought about it? The slot machine reconfigured, you know what I mean? And now it's back to square one, But then it does seem like it eases off after time, and then meaning, it's hard, but it's like, with the kids though too, I mean, they've always been my saving grace. I know you feel the same way, I mean, if we didn't have these kids in our lives, I'd probably already be dead on a curb anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just, it's crazy.
And it's God.
Yeah.
God, they say, like, hey, time heals, but it's time with God.
Yeah.
That heals you. Time doesn't heal. It's the peace and the joy and the fruit of the Spirit that gives us the healing and the knowledge of heaven and eternal life. We are just a blip Now, if we didn't believe in God, grief would be really freaking hard.
Yeah.
Way harder than it is now.
Well, like it says in Psalm 34:18, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and
yes.
saves those who are crushed in spirit.
Bam.
You know, I mean, like, honestly, yeah, I don't know what I would be doing if I wasn't able to rely on God right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
And I've had to go through my own, excuse me, path to, I mean, and not like I'm cured or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, now
right,
I'm
sure.
all knowing. I know, you know, what I'm supposed to do. I mean, man, we're all still
you're
trying to
walking
figure
through
stuff
your
out.
own stuff, yeah.
Right, but I mean, I know I'm on a better path than I was,
yeah.
say, 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Oh, yes.
But, you know,
sure. Both
I mean,
of us.
but without having, you know, God to rely on, I mean, yeah, I mean, I probably would still be drinking, or I probably would, you know, man, if I didn't have God in my life, I mean, man, I wouldn't have ever been to church and met some of the people I met. My whole life would have shifted and been to something completely different. I mean, everything happened to me for a reason, and I really do think that, I mean, I was built up and had this relationship with God and kind of went through my own stuff, even with the twins and stuff that we mentioned before, because it all leads up to even more stuff you're going to have to deal with. And like, here we are with loss, you know, it's kind of, you know, here you are, this is what you're going to be, this is the hand you're being dealt, like. But, you know, I'm going to be with you, you know, and you're no longer doing like some of this stuff that you used to do. You're on a better path now, and here I am. Let's work through this, you know. And yeah, at first it's kind of like, man, dude, like, why does it have to be like this? Because, man, I know with the twins, it was a lot. I mean, I was pissed. You know what I mean?
The twins were babies that were stillborn with Jennifer, his first wife that he lost at 6 months.
Yeah.
Noah and Holden.
Yeah.
Just so that we
mentioned
but not everybody sees all our stuff.
Yeah, you're right.
So just so we know, like that, and that was your one and big deep loss in your life until this.
Right.
So this is like a background.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. But, you know, I mean, but I also do think that it did help to prepare for some of this stuff now, because I know back then when that happened, oh, yeah, I mean, I was cursing at God. I was like, what the F, you know? I mean, you know, 3 a.m. in a double cul-de-sac, screaming at the top of my lungs. No traffic, you know? So, I mean, just, you know, just...
Luckily.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, but that meant
but you probably would have taken on a car.
And I'm just sitting there screaming so the entire neighborhood could hear. But, yeah, I mean, but I even went through all that to help, you know, you get... Like, I feel that, you know, even that helped prepare me for what happens later, like this. You know what I mean? So now when we get to this spot, I'm not deciding to drink or have continually been drinking. And then now I'm out in the middle of this street screaming and yelling at God, you know, or something like that. And then, that'd be great for the kids to see, and they're being older.
Teenager years.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like...
And that is another thing, and I do have to say, through the grace of God and your continual... prayer with him to what you actually prayed earlier, like, you know, to be all the, you know, to be over, you know, with you and with the kids, and, you know, be with your words and all the different things. And he's really showing up for you in a lot of ways, speaking to the kids, doing, you know, leading you. When you tell me things, I'm so proud of you because you're listening to the Spirit.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
When I think too, like I don't want to force anything. So yeah, it's kind of like what my mom would say. I just give it to God.
Yeah.
You know, God, this is where you want me, and this is where I'll be. I don't want to be here, but if you want me here, okay, I'll accept that. You know.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just having that sort of mentality a little bit, and it's just like, you know, all right, man, if you want me to sit in this swamp.
Yeah, sit in your dirt, sit in your mess, sit down in your mess. Yep.
You know, but he does. I mean, like he says, he is with the brokenhearted, and we have seen, you know, little miracles here and there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, some financial stability, you know, or things of that nature, or just people like you do kind of like get to see some of your people in your life kind of become close to you, like that, you know.
Yeah, when you go through loss and grief. Pregnancy and all sorts of stuff, your true friends and who loves you really shines, really shows through, you know.
Exactly. You know?
Yeah.
And it's nice to
beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, and it's nice to have those comforting
prayerful
things
friends
to you, you know, but then at the end of the day, it's you that has to get up in the morning and figure this all out. And yeah, I mean, it is weird with the whole grief thing, because you don't, I mean, man, that it is such a pool that you just can swim in.
Oh, yeah.
For a long time if you let yourself. And then it turns more into like quicksand in a swamp, and it's tougher to get out of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the longer you're in that pool, the tougher it's going to be to get out of. It's like a freaking Stephen King story.
Analogy, yeah. It can quickly turn to self-pity and victimization
and I feel like I was starting to go there for a second. Like, no. You're not one to do that. You don't, don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do crap like that. Because, that's just not right.
Yeah. I mean, that's God talking to you, too. Those are downloads from God, too. Like, you're begging me to heal you and feel good. And to feel me and feel the Holy Spirit and be in you and be over your words and and you ask that prayer every day. Like, you're going to feel the joy of the Spirit and you're going to feel His movement in your life. That's, for me, my grandma raised me. I'm not going to talk long about my grief, but I just want to share a little bit.
No, it's fine. Please.
My Grandma Brown, if you know me, you follow me at all, you know how much I love her. And I have my own podcast called Cat's Prayer Corner Podcast. And she was on it a few times when I first started, about 5 years ago. And she's just a gem. She's just a treasure. And I understand that feeling that you were saying where it's like, the moral compass, and it's kind of like, well, now you take the torch, like it's to us now to be the moral compass, with Jesus. Jesus is our moral compass, okay? But they just were so obedient and loving to Jesus through our childhood that it just, losing grandma felt like losing a piece of Jesus for a minute for me, like just that faithful, strong, confident. She taught me everything I knew about God. She had me in prayer meetings as a 6-7-year-old, praying over women and worshiping and just feeling the Holy Spirit and loving God, loving Jesus, having snacks. She made Jesus fun and awesome. And, and she gave me that. She helped me understand this beautiful relationship that I now have in my 40s with Jesus that I can help bring to my children. You do a lot of things like how your mom did them with you.
Including the ice cream cake.
Including our ice cream cakes for the birthdays.
I'm still trying to perfect it.
But, for me too, it was like how my grandma kind of raised me because my mom was 18. So my mom was like my best friend and grandma raised us. Basically. And so I lost my mama, basically. It feels like, even though my mom, I love you, Mom, you know what's up. She does listen to our podcast. But anyway, so the point is it's sad, but I also feel her when I pray. Like, I do believe that God is so alive and fragrant and filled with miracles all around us all the time. It's never a coincidence. It is always God. So if you've ever thought about something being a coincidence and you think about God, you're like, oh, there's a lot of things that God has done for me. And just, I believe that He is magical and powerful and supernatural and just has the ability to allow us to feel the people we love if we close our eyes and be still and praise Him and ask for it. And so I have done that quite a few times, and I believe she's in heaven dancing with my grandpa who died 60 years ago. And I'm elated by the fact that she's with her sons who passed away in their grown ages before her. It's hard to lose babies, but grown adult children, like, that's unfair. I don't know. It's all unfair. But anyway, but I do believe in the Holy Spirit and like the peace and the joy that comes from, and now she's always prayed for me when she was here. And I was just like, if anything needed a prayer, I'd call my grandma and ask her to pray for it. Now she's like hanging out with Jesus and Moses and all the people. And now you ask, hey, can you intercede? Hey, grandma, can you pray for me? She's like, I got you. So I'm like, now her prayers are way more powerful. So it's tough. And I cry like every day still, but
Matthew 5:4, blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted.
Yes.
And I mean, at the end of the day, it's true.
Yeah, you feel God in that space.
You might not feel it right away, but if you continue to seek His guidance, you will find it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, it even says, in Matthew 5:6, blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. And you have to.
Those are in red words. Those are Jesus words. Powerful stuff.
I mean, it's it's just a matter of day by day. And I mean, and we, it's obviously something you don't want to have like a dark cloud over your head, over your house, and over the kids, and da-da-da-da. So, I mean, we try and keep it lighthearted. We're going to a movie tonight.
Yeah.
We're going to go see the Karate Kid movie.
Yep. We are going to see the Karate Kid. And Jack's in karate. Right.
Yeah, and Jack's in karate currently. So, he's ready to, hoo-yah!
Yep.
And it's supposed to be pretty good, so we'll check it out and see.
I wonder if he'll, know some of the different katas and
Oh, that's Ken Po.
Hey, yeah. That's cool. So, we have seen, we've seen quite a few movies in the last 3 months. You want to
just segue that into what we have been doing.
Yeah.
It's been a while, obviously, and we've had some of what's going on, but we have made it to the movies to kind of do, kind of maintain the grief as well. And got to say, there's a few out there that were good and a few out there that were not. It has been a long time, so I think Minecraft movie.
Why can I not remember Drop? Did I see that movie?
That was the one that me and Sam saw.
Okay,
where she has the date at the restaurant and somebody is texting her like, you have to kill your date or we're gonna kill your kid at home.
Okay.
And it was actually okay.
How was that?
It wasn't too bad. It was a decent whodunit. It actually was not bad at all.
I like a good whodunit.
Yeah, I mean, they covered all the bases as far as okay, well, if tech can do this and that, you should be able to trace this. They actually did a pretty good job of covering all their bases. It wasn't bad. I wouldn't say go rush it. Well, it's not in the theaters now, but I think it's streaming. But it is definitely worth the stream. It would be worth, I would say, a movie theater $10 ticket price, but maybe a matinee.
So, out of the stars,
it's worth the shot, and it's PG-13, so it's right in between there. It's not too violent or there aren't any crazy situations. I mean, there's a kid in Pearl, but whatever.
We saw Minecraft that I saw with you guys.
Movie.
I thought
that was pretty good.
Dude, it was hilarious. It was so good.
I'm pretty sure everyone's seen it by now, but if you haven't, I mean, it's directed by the guy Jared Hess who did Napoleon Dynamite.
It's
totally
good.
got the Napoleon Dynamite feel. That's
I'm almost mad about how much I like it.
Yeah. I know. I mean, I didn't know anything about the movie. I don't know much about Minecraft.
Yeah, me either.
Other than what pretty much everybody does if you're an adult. But it was funny. It was engaging, and the characters were funny. You know what I mean? Jack Black's always good.
Hilarious.
It didn't really matter. And we didn't have to worry about the chicken jockey thing. Nobody was throwing chicken nuggets or drinks at our head. So
we went so early that they hadn't decided to do that.
Yeah, I guess we missed that whole rush.
If you don't know what we're talking about, it's a part in the show where they say chicken jockey, and then all the kids.
It's a food fight or something, right?
They're fighting in the ring.
Yeah.
And so the kids have decided, it's gone viral, to throw your candy and popcorn and soda up in the air.
Yeah.
And our 19-year-old works at Cinemark, which we've mentioned before.
Yeah, and I guess he's
had to clean it up over and over again. So now they've stuck them all into one theater. There's only one theater going down. I don't even know if they're showing it anymore.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if it's still in there or not.
I do. What's Aquaman's name?
Jason Momoa.
Yeah, that's right. He's chubby in this and stuff. He's just funny. He plays a completely different type of person than an Aquaman.
He's pretty funny. I mean, he does have some of these wrestlers and stuff come out The Rock or John Cena, and then they actually after they kind of get through that first couple of movies where they're tense and then they just kind of relax.
Then they're funny.
They're actually pretty funny. The Fast X movie was horrible, but he's that weird guy in it. Remember?
Yeah,
Totally not even Jason Momoa.
No, I know.
But it was interesting to see him as a different
character.
Person. Yeah, it was kind of. Yeah. I mean, he kind of nailed it, but.
Yeah. I like him better as the goofy, weirdo, funny, dude than trying to be the suave action hero or whatever. Not that I don't mind that look, just say it.
Yeah.
What else did we see?
We can breeze through, Snow White. Yeah, it was okay. Wasn't the best, I didn't think. It was okay. I don't understand why it's gotten such a bad rap.
I thought it was
out
good.
To be this horrible thing, and what? It's I don't understand all that. I mean, it wasn't it wasn't the greatest one, but it wasn't.
They were really mean to the lady who played the queen.
I
thought she did good.
The one who played
the queen,
Gal Gadot.
Yeah. People were like saying
They didn't like
she didn't do a good job, and I was
Oh.
like, I think she did good.
I mean, I don't know. It's a live action Snow White. I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah, right.
7 dwarves.
Yeah.
You won Oscar.
The dwarfs were cute. Snow White was good.
Yeah.
The romance they changed the story a little bit.
Yeah, I think
they changed the story at the end, like the king, the.
But I think it had something to do with because, like, she's taking care of these 7 dwarves and she doesn't have her own identity or what, and she can't be anything without a prince kissing her. Like, dude, we're just talking about a fairy tale.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be political.
Cinderella, and same too. Like she can only be saved from her evil stepsisters by the prince. She didn't have a life of her own. Like, these are just stories.
Yeah.
And
old stories.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Yeah, these are like stories in books.
Now look, Snow White was the first.
The first animated
Disney princess movie. Yep. And
they just made it such a bigger hype than they should have about all that.
She's the OG princess.
She's the OG?
Yep.
Give me an apple.
I have loved Honeycrisp apples this whole pregnancy. Oh, yeah, that's good. I can have one right now.
Captain America.
Yeah, that was good. I thought that was good with Harrison Ford.
Yeah, I think that was either the end of what they called Phase 5.
Yeah.
It was. And then...
good action.
Thunderbolts.
Super good action.
6 or something. Yeah, I mean, it was good. You're going into it's a superhero movie. It's better than some of the ones that were out, like the Miss Marvel the Marvel one that was out, the Madam Web. It was a better Marvel
didn't see that,
film.
did we?
I saw the Madam Web one on Netflix. It was horrible.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
No, this one was good, and I like Harrison Ford in it. And he's still
He took over the Ross role from William Hurt because he passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Red Hulk, and
he turns into like a Hulk. It's all red and cool.
They kind of set it up because there's going to be more,
Smash.
Avengers characters, all that stuff coming.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's it's like they're gearing up for the next.
It's not going to be like a cinematic.
These are superhero movies.
Yeah, they're superhero movies. Like, go in there and have fun.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of have some of the same action sequences and stuff like that, but it's decent. With the other one we saw, Thunderbolts, that was funny. I thought that was better than Captain America.
It's different. It's different. Yeah.
But I thought it was funny. It had more of the Guardians of the Galaxy kind of vibe, or Thor Ragnarok, also, where they're like really funny. And homeboy, what's his name?
Hoffer?
Why am I drawing David something?
Hopper.
Yeah,
from
Hopper.
Stranger Things. That actor, David Hoffer or something. I thought.
No. Oh, God.
Sorry. But anyway, you'll think about it. Let's just talk about it, and we'll just come back.
He's good. Stranger Things and. He plays the Soviet.
He plays a dad, and he has this accent, and he's so funny, and he's just like fat and sloppy. I don't know. He's just funny, but he's like a superhero in his like costume.
What are you talking about?
He carries it really.
Yeah,
and I like his daughter in it. Their relationship. She really carries the movie too. She's funny too.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
She's good. So it's more. Would you say it's more action or more comedy?
I mean, that one.
That's a good equal balance of both.
And it's kind of like how some of these other Marvel hero movies have been doing.
Thor, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's funny, and then the end, it's sort of like, is the bad guy actually better than he says he is, or something like that?
Yeah, and so it's like a good ending. But you have lots of kids watching this stuff.
But I liked Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Elaine from Seinfeld. She's the bad
guy.
Oh, wait, no, was she? Well, she's in that. Yes, she's in that. But then she was also in the Captain America one. I keep forgetting. Yeah, she's like the new kind of starting the bad guy one. Yeah, I think she was also in that one, like a brief cameo or something like that.
Oh, okay.
I forget.
Well, Thunderbolts, she's the bad guy.
Yeah, she's kind of because she's starting the new, I guess, bad Supreme people, the Sentinels and all that stuff that are going to be coming out or whatever.
But she's funny. We watch a lot of Seinfeld. So
love Seinfeld.
So we're happy to see her.
And then Lilo and Stitch.
So
that
cute.
That was a great movie.
So cute.
That was actually I'd never even seen the original.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So I didn't realize it. It's like
it's
like the space alien thing, and then they're chasing him, and you got cops and whatever stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't realize all that stuff, but. It was funny. It was actually a pretty funny movie.
It was super funny.
Zach Galifianakis is in it. It's kind of odd. He's in The Hangover.
Oh yeah. The little girl, I don't know her name.
She was adorable.
She did so good.
Yeah.
Like
it's like they actually picked a 6-year-old to do this role, and she did a really good job.
She did. She really did. She hit the nail on the head.
Did a pretty good job.
And the sister who played the older sister
she did a good job.
And they, I just love a good sister movie. I have 2 sisters I took care of when they were little girls that are like big girls now, and so and my littlest sister is a beautiful artist, and she does a lot of Lilo and Stitch work.
Oh, that's right.
And so just like extra special. I just love a good like lighthearted movie. Like a nice pure good movie. No like guns and and blood.
What?
I feel like we watch a lot of action-y movies.
You make it seem like I've watched like 15 James Bond movies or something.
You have.
I have.
Has it been that many?
I am
7?
on the Living Daylights.
So what is that?
I think that is. I think it's
7?
like 15.
No way. Yeah. Okay, so this pregnancy has me sleeping a lot. So he's been watching James Bond after I go to bed.
My dad was always kind of partial to it, so I kind of sort of
healing.
Was like, I started like watching it for that kind of purpose. I bought the series. I got a great deal on it, $40 for the entire thing.
Okay.
And
now to hear from our sponsor.
I started from the very first one, and now I'm on I just finished. Nope, I'm in the middle of. Living Daylights, the first Timothy Dalton one after the last.
So you've gone through Sean Connery, Roger Moore, George what? Okay.
And then Roger Moore, and now we're on Timothy Dalton.
And then after this movie,
Pierce Brosnan. Oh, after this one, there's another Timothy Dalton. He had 2. Okay. And then it's Pierce Brosnan, and then it's Daniel Craig.
That's when I'll start watching.
What? Daniel Craig, Pierce Brosnan.
Both.
Pierce Brosnan. Yeah.
Pierce Brosnan,
that was your
that was my Bond. When I was like young, that was my mom's really, and then like I think of Sean Connery as like my grandma's version of James Bond, and then Daniel Craig is like my 20-year-old version of James Bond. So, but like all the dudes in the middle ain't got no relationship to that.
Yeah.
So you have fun. Sure. I kind of like the like music of it and going to sleep to it.
Yeah.
It's not like crazy action, Die Hard, like wake you up crazy action.
Yeah,
it's more like subtle and cool.
And I also try and turn it down. If
thank you.
A bunch of explosions or we're at the final sequence.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. Man. Yeah, I think I'm on like 15.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome. And then you could say you did it. You went through them all.
Yeah, I've seen them all, but I'm like doing it all. Like this is the first time I'm doing it. Like one
the
right
whole
after the
through.
Other so, like a long time.
You're
super. It's all of them now.
You're super into like the stunt stuff.
Yeah, I like the stunt sequences.
Yeah,
they change things up a little bit. And the Roger Moores, they got a little bit more elaborate. Because they had kind of the means to do so with technology.
Like his car, like
funding.
The car gadget stuff.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Or like the Roger Moore. Well, they did have it in On Her Majesty's Secret Service. But the Roger Moore kind of had more of the snow skiing kind of things. And snowmobiles and being chased down a mountain. And he always had more of those, and it was pretty cool.
He was so old. It was so weird.
He was young when, 73 was the first, 71. No, 73. Live and Let Die. And that was Paul McCartney doing the song and all that. And then his last one was in 85, 12 years later. And he changed a lot.
Yeah, he's so old and weird. Yeah. I'm like, what? She does not think he's cute. Oh my gosh. That's hard to believe.
I know.
That's hard to believe. You're not Foxy.
I never liked
You're not a Foxy, James.
James.
Yeah.
It's like, how? I just don't get
You got so much swag, James.
Yeah, it's like, whatever, dude. Just go get shot at by that guy. I want to see what you do.
Just an excuse to have, like, a pretty woman in the show.
Yeah, that's why. Exotic locales and women and,
Yeah, it's
whatever.
funny.
Show me the stunts.
I do like the fashion, though. That's kind of fun. Like, through the years, changing. Not him, but, like, the different women.
Yeah.
Anyway, whoa, rabbit hole.
Your TV shows, we wound up with Severance. If you haven't seen that, it ends pretty in this kind of a messed up way. But
I'm mad about how it ends.
They're having another season, so it just leaves it up for more of that. And then I watched Daredevil, the new Daredevil Born Again, and that was good. And then you happened to watch the very last episode of that, where you got to actually see him
when I woke up to
someone's
screaming
face
and violence.
Jeez.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty tame, pretty cool, like, mellow show. It kind of had more of, like, a gangster sort of business vibe thing going on. And then, the main bad guy, it's kind of the all-out ending finale part. So, there was a lot more bloodshed. And then, he actually smashes this guy's head.
Like squeezes it.
It was, I mean, and that's what this character Kingpin was known for.
I was not expecting that.
I wasn't either. And then it was just like, oh, jeez, dude.
Like, I got up to pee and watched some guy's head get smashed in.
When he started doing it, I'm like, oh, okay. So and then I thought they just might like kind of, like you see.
No, but it was
like
watermelon.
They decided to pull back that camera and show his jaw slide. I was like, jeez, my goodness. No. But it was a pretty good show. We also watched The Studio with Seth Rogen.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
That's show
good. That's
good. Funny. It's on Apple, and he just.
If you have high anxiety, though, I would, or if you're in the production world, you may get triggered watching this
It moves quickly. They're handheld drone cameras they're using the whole time, and it's constantly shifting.
Yeah.
Because he's
trigger warning.
He becomes the head of a movie studio, and so it's just kind of like. Always trying to put out a fire here. Put out a fire here. Somebody did this. Gotta go here. Dun, 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 dun. And he's just, and the cameras
he's like
are
an
moving,
idiot.
And he's stressed. And, But then there are some hilarious episodes where he thinks it's going to be a great idea before an award show to have a Hollywood party. and like people start doing...
It's like a table of drugs.
Oh my god! Yeah, and he's just like
and he like put mushrooms in food, and so like the main actress
measurements, I guess, and people were doing like
he,
5 times the
overdoses
amount.
These
Bryan
people.
Cranston is the head, and it's oh my gosh!
It's very funny.
It's a pretty funny show.
It's very grown up though. You can't watch it with the kids.
Yeah, it is a grown up show.
I mean, a lot of the TV shows we're watching is grown up stuff
for the most part.
Yeah, because we watch it at night.
Yeah. Another one that was on Apple, we finished the Vince Vaughn one, Bad Monkey. Like Florida Keys, he's a detective trying to figure out a murder. It was pretty funny.
It's very Vince Vaughn-y. It's him. It's it's the same guy. Just
he's like a private detective, and it's funny. It's good.
It's clever.
It is. Some of the characters are like inept and just stupid, and it's just pretty.
I have no idea what I wrote here.
Mirror, mirror.
Oh. Thank you.
I know. I just realized it right now. Honestly, I'm
my gosh,
Mirror. Oh,
mirror.
Yeah, we just started watching season 7. Yeah, what is that season?
I guess. I mean, we kind of bounced around through them.
We just kind of caught a few episodes.
They're They're like 45 to 50 minutes of like your own like short story of something.
And if you're not familiar with it, it's on Netflix. It's kind of like a Twilight Zone.
Yeah, that's great. Like a updated version of that.
Yeah, but with that being said, it's an updated version, so it's got like it's not like simpleton sort of stories like in Twilight Zone. They're a little bit more like
whoa, I can't believe that ended like that.
The one we watched was about a video game guy who is creating an actual like a digital life form.
Yeah.
It was just weird the way it took off.
Weird. It makes me like wonder.
Alter reality with a thing she'd made because she was bullied at school.
Yes. She ends up being a princess.
Oh my god!
In like a far off land.
Yeah, it's a good show. It is. Yeah. I mean, but it is kind. It can get kind of dark. So I mean, it's
some of it. Yeah, I can't. We watched 2 episodes. I was like, okay, we gotta move on to something else. Yeah. Seinfeld.
Yeah, exactly. But honestly, one of the best shows we have watched recently was The Residence. That's a new one that they just started on Netflix.
That's a Knives Out kind of feel.
Yeah, another murder mystery kind of thing. But the whole thing is that it's there's a murder at the White House.
Yeah.
So they bring in this lady who is the best detective, kind of like Knives Out, the best detective. And she has to figure out in 8 episodes who did it.
Yep.
And it's got quite a odd cast. I mean, it's got Jane Curtin, if anyone knows who that is. She was from Saturday Night Live, like from the original Saturday Night Live, doing the news update with Dan Aykroyd and all that stuff. It's got like Jason Lee in it, who used to be in the Kevin Smith movies, Chasing Amy and Mallrats, and My Name is Earl. He was the star of My Name is Earl. And then the guy that actually is murdered is the guy that was the bad guy in the Captain America movie and also in Breaking Bad. Most people probably know him.
Yeah.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah.
And it's got a few other people. It's good. It's a good show.
And it's like who did it with the candlestick in what room.
Yeah,
you know,
and
it's
the
like
lady
Clue.
that plays the detective, she's man, I don't know. From what I saw, she was in Orange Is the New Black.
Oh, okay.
I never saw that show.
That's why she's familiar.
Yeah, I guess she was in that show. She looks differently, but she has sort of the same sort of demeanor, kind of like deadpan and very sarcastic.
Funny.
Because her character in this is that. It's deadpan, it's sarcastic. She's very smart and doesn't really relate well to other people. They get annoyed with her, and she's hilarious. I mean, it's pretty funny. It's pretty good.
Totally. I recommend it.
Oh, and it has Balky from Perfect Strangers.
Oh, yeah, that's what I said. That's right. I was like, what was he in again?
Balky Bartholomeus.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But yeah, that's so I guess in a nutshell, that's pretty much about everything that we have seen.
Yeah, I mean, close.
I'm like dizzy.
Yeah. It's been a whirlwind.
Yeah.
Well, also, I did go see Mercy Me and Zach Williams with a few of my girlfriends.
That's
we did that concert. So that they were really, really good. Where did I see them? Do you remember where I went?
Was it Dickies Arena?
I think so. Where we saw Lauren Daigle.
Right. That was
so
Dickies.
that and I just went with a lot of my girlfriends have been like pouring into me during my pregnancy and through the grief and just all the things. So shout out to all my
I opened up the dungeon
people.
drawer and I allowed you to go out and have a good time for a few hours.
Right. And so that was fun to like worship with the girls.
It's actually the other way around.
No, stop.
I'm joking.
I mean, you can go and have a boys' night. That's fine.
Please help.
Send help. Send help. My wife is pregnant. That'd be nice to me. My wife is pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, we are happy to be back.
Yeah.
Thank
we'll
you for your
back
patience.
On here a little bit more repeatedly and not so off the cuff, like, you know.
We'll review Karate Kid. Because we're going to go see that.
Yeah, we're going to go check that out tonight. In fact, I probably should be looking up show times.
Yeah. Well, what are we going to get out of here with? What song did we choose?
Well, we decided to go with, I guess,
Sublime.
Do a little Sublime.
Sun.
Sublime is no change. It used to be with Rome, who used to be the singer after Bradley passed.
Right.
For years. And then now, Bradley's son, Jacob, he had his own band for a little while called Jacob's Castle. He's decided now, I guess he's going to be the lead singer of Sublime now. And so Rome finished up his last couple of dates, I guess, last year. And now Sublime is focusing with Jacob as lead singer. So we thought we'd go out with, they just released a track of, right now it seems like he's doing a few of his dad's songs.
Like covering them, yeah.
Yeah, covering them. And so they have a version of Garden Grove we thought we'd play. Because it's a pretty good version of it, you know?
And we're Long Beach, you know. We live in Texas, but Long Beach is...
So it's kind of our vibe.
Our vibe.
So, we thought we'd go out with Sublime with Jacob's Castle doing Garden Grove.
Yeah, it's good.
So, and that's, in fact, actually the city that I was born in.
There you go. Perfect.
There we go. It all comes around. All right.
So take us to Garden Grove, baby.
There we go. We love you guys. You guys take care.
Thank you for listening. Hallelujah. Thank you for your prayers.
That's right. Have a fun summer, and we'll be back right with you guys here in a week or two, okay? You guys take care.
Smelled like Lou Dog inside the van. Oh yeah, this ain't no funky reggae party. $5 at the door. It's so real sometimes. Who wrote my rhymes? I've got the microwave, I've got the VCR, I've got the deuce in the trunk of my car. Oh yeah. Only knew all the love that I found. It's hard to keep my soul on the ground. You're a fool, don't fuck around my dime. All that I can see, I steal. I fill up my garage. Cause in my mind, music from Jamaica, all the love that I found. All over there's a reason why my soul's unsound. It's you. It's that shit stuck under my shoe. It's that smell inside the van. It's my bed sheet covered in sand. Sitting through a shitty band. Getting dog shit on my hand. Getting hassled by the man. Waking up to an alarm. Sticking needles in your arm. Picking up trash from the freeway. Eating depressed every day. Even without making a sound. Working my dog and up and down. Living in a tweaker pad. Saying I'm happy when I'm not. Finding roaches in the pot. Oh.